Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The founder of the Citizens Foundation.
Correct.
So, could you please give us a bit of insight about the Citizens Foundations?
Okay. The foundation initially started work about 16 years ago. We have 5 friends. Besides me, there are 5 others who are the founding members of this organization, who felt that Pakistan has, well, any underdeveloped country has a problem of this nature, where the children are aimlessly roaming around on the streets without any direction. So we said we must do something to put them into school. And this story starts in 1995. And we said we put some targets on ourselves that it will be a co-education system. And it will be spread over the whole country, which is Pakistan. And it will be in the villages and the slums of Pakistan. And it will be creating jobs for 5,000-10,000 people, at least. And this was the intention then. But frankly speaking, we didn't know exactly what we are going into. Now, looking back in the hindsight, we started off with 5 schools. And the first 5 schools were financed by the founding directors themselves. Subsequently, when these 5 schools came into operation, we started showing this, showcasing them to the prospective donors. And I cannot tell you what sort of a response we have had from the good people, well-meaning people within the country and overseas. We are attracting Pakistanis at the moment. Almost 98% of the money is coming from Pakistanis who are living in Pakistan and Pakistanis living abroad.
Okay, so when you speak about young children wandering around the streets and you want to grab them into the educational system, what's the recipe or the successful recipe, because this is obviously a successful enterprise? What's this recipe to get students engaged into education, and especially children who don't really know what's the importance of education?
You see, let me explain to you. It is not so much the fault of the children, because they haven't had any opportunities, because they don't have any schools close to their homes. So the children, it is the duty of a government, of a state, to provide this facility for the children. Now, because there are no facilities, these children are... So when we stepped in, we just managed to plant a school right in the community so that it becomes a neighborhood activity. Rather than putting a big school somewhere far from the village or the slum, it would be futile. So we planted that school right into the community. So now what has happened is, we have made it flexible for the children. You know, some children have to look after their siblings. The girls have to look after the siblings, the smaller siblings, and the boys sometimes work. So what we have done is that we've got a morning shift and an afternoon shift. So children who want to do something in the morning come in the afternoon, and the other way, vice versa. So we have taken away the choice from them. We've made it so easy and so less complex. And now every school we have built has got a long waiting list of, because our school is only admitting about 180 children, because we've got 6 classrooms and we admit 30 children per classroom. So there's always a thirst or a hunger for education. So they're in the waiting. So when we see that there's a very big waiting list, then we put another school there in that same area. So it's become a very fun sort of thing for the children. It's not, when at least my children went to school, they always were complaining, they don't want to get up early in the morning. But here, this is a total different story. These children are so overjoyed at being given an opportunity. So it's like changing lives for them.
Yeah. So basically, the winning recipe would be to put educational as an option, as an available option into them, and make it flexible so that they have a choice when to do it.
Absolutely.
So if you can put this recipe in 2 sentences, how would you put them? The winning recipe for grabbing children into the educational system. Just to summarize what you said.
Like I said, that learning has to be fun for the children. They're no different from you or any other child, you know. It has to be a element of activity involved with fun. And you see, in 2 sentences, like you said, it has to be purposeful, because these people don't have a second chance in their lives. They have been neglected for too long. Now there's an opportunity, so they clamor to get into the schools. Because once they are through with their schools, now we have started a program where they're going into colleges. Almost 72% of our children in colleges from the high school. So it's an incredible achievement. Today we have got 730 schools, having more than 102,000 children in those schools. And it's a gender balance is like 50% girls and 50% boys.
That's
So this is something which is a success story in itself, can be replicated anywhere in the third world or a developing nation,
Yeah.
and is scalable.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, going back to the focus of the WISE Summit, everyone has been talking about that education has to be student centralized. What do you think about having the education as student centralized, and what kind of ideas do you think that young learners can come up with?
Well, I personally feel that we are the has-beens of this world, The learners, the young learners. Last time I gave my views that there should be more participation from the young learners' side. They should be given a platform to hold more discussions. They should be given a platform to give their ideas, their fresh ideas, because they are the future of tomorrow. So I feel that there should be more involvement on all levels for the students. Of course, they need coaching and guidance and counseling, but that will come in the process, If the children, if the youth is given that responsibility, I'm sure they will come up with good responses and good suggestions and WISE is no different. I would say that WISE has taken this step. I was hearing Dr. Abdul Al-Thani speaking that this year there are more young learners, I think there are 30 who are actively participating, and there are workshops and there are some debates taking place by the WISE young learner. So that should be encouraged. That should be enlarged, expanded, enhanced.
Okay, I have to thank you for this wonderful interview, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
I always enjoy talking to young people and narrating my experiences, and I'm proud of what is happening in Pakistan, and I wish all of you the very best.
It's very inspirational. Thank you very much.